Good morning. All right. I am I'm doing this because I have not written my newsletter to you all for a couple weeks now, and I am very sorry about that. I know that a lot of you give me great feedback that you really enjoy getting it, and I'll be honest with you, I love the feedback, and like once I get into doing it, I'm really glad I did it, but it's like that's a frog eating exercise for me. The old thing, and I think I've written about that in my newsletter before, is it's like the getting started is hard for some reason. So, and I've been doing a lot of video lately because I've been recording podcasts, and I'm super excited about that. I can't wait to share those with you. I've recorded 4 so far. I'm going to drop one in the private Facebook group ahead of time and let y'all have a sneak peek at that. So if you're not part of the private Facebook group, which is the Klein and Co. Insiders on Facebook, be sure to request to join there so that you can see that, hear that, and then I'll be sending out more information about it once it actually goes live on Spotify and Apple and all that good stuff. So, okay. So back to the frog eating. Yeah, I just, it's funny. Like I said, once I get started, I'm good with writing, but the starting it for some reason is really hard for me. Talking is easy. So I want to report back to you on our cruise. I'm going to talk to you about what's upcoming and opportunities that are on the horizon for travel with me and otherwise, and then kind of what the state of travel is. So I'm going to try to keep it brief. But first, so the non-cruiser goes cruising. We as travel advisors were given the great opportunity and gift by the Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, who is also Celebrity and Silversea, to have a free cruise if we rejoined ASTA, which is our advocacy agency. And I would have done that anyway. But, great incentive. And we were able to pick our top 3 choices. And, we were hopefully able to get our top choice, which we did. And I've got another shout out to the Royal Caribbean family is that we actually, Pete and I, tested positive before our first cruise and we're not able to go. And they, got us turned around and back onto another cruise a month later that was the exact same itinerary. And they also, which was planned from the beginning, gave us balcony staterooms, which, I mean, how can you complain about that? Makes me love that line even more. I can't wait to experience the Silversea cruise for myself, but more on that later. So the reason we chose this particular itinerary was because of the stops. And so when I say a non-cruiser goes cruising, I don't love days at sea, I have to admit. Now, maybe once I get to do a smaller cruise line and I will like it more. But I feel a little like a caged animal, and as big as this ship was, I still felt like I just wanted like off of there on at sea days. I know some people love it, but it wasn't my cup of tea. Now the stops, we couldn't stop in the Bahamas, which was supposed to be our first stop because the winds were crazy high when we left Fort Lauderdale. I mean, it was like, I don't know if any of you saw my Facebook post that I did on my personal Facebook page, but I showed the pilot ship, and I mean, he was getting rocked out there. So it was little, but the ship we were on, I mean, you could hardly tell because it was huge. And so we didn't get to go to the Bahamas. So we had 2 days at sea to start out. Then we went to St. Thomas, we went to St. Martin, and then we went to Nevis and St. Kitts, or St. Kitts, actually. I didn't get to Nevis, but that was like the impetus for me. For some reason, I have always been attracted to those islands. I've always wanted to go there. I am not particularly an island girl, I wouldn't say, but the ones that have like some mountains and some rainforest and some other things to do in addition to beach attract me. St. Lucia also does. So I was really glad to get there, and it did not disappoint. I did not do hotel inspections on St. Kitts. There's the Park Hyatt there, and then Nevis has the Four Seasons. Those would have been my 2 choices. There's also a nice Marriott there, which we saw from a distance, But I really wanted to see the island that day. And we went to one of the old sugar plantations and just hired a guide, a driver, and spent the day driving around. So we did the whole circle on St. Kitts, and I'm really glad we did. It was a lot of fun and really got to get a feel for it. And I know now I want to go back for sure. And in St. Martin, we went and visited the La Semana, Belmont's La Semana, and beautiful, beautiful property. They have a gorgeous couple private homes there, or villas, and that can be rented for, a week, 2 weeks, whatever. They have nice tennis courts. They have a beautiful beach. Food was excellent. It's on the Dutch side, but it has a very French feel to it all. It's not very big, was not overcrowded. Nice pool area. Just really liked that a lot. So rooms were very pretty, very nice, typical Caribbean, very breezy. Open up right onto the beach. So very romantic as well. And the houses would be great option for families or for couples, friends traveling together, and would be, really easy and come with some staff and have pools of their own. So nice spot. St. Thomas, the Ritz-Carlton there. Actually, my brother reminded me that he opened that property, back in like 2009 or something, when he was with Ritz-Carlton before they became part of Marriott. And I enjoyed it. It's got a beautiful pool. It's got a nice beach, not the greatest beach. The club level wing option is great. The main building is beautiful. The restaurant was very good. Service was very good. When we were there was some music going on that I wasn't particularly crazy about, but it's a family friendly deal there too. So they have to kind of try to keep everybody happy. I kind of like the real zen quiet. I'm not a big party person for resorts, and I'm not going to say it was a party central kind of deal, but and it didn't go on that long. So not a complaint, just a note. But lovely, lovely property. So, okay. So that's the long and the short of the cruising. 2 days back to Fort Lauderdale. And I've got to say, the last day, so I didn't realize this, but so the last day you're just kind of at sea, like, getting that extra day. And I really was like, just pull over and let me off. I'm good. I'm done. Like, I got to see my islands. I want to get off. And so just like, we were like circling in the Bahamas before we went back to port. So, but like I said, lots of people love that day at sea. So, okay. Moving along, I'm going to try a cruise again. So I'm going on Atlas Ocean Voyages. That is going to be in May, the first week of May, but it is a 13-night cruise. Now I'm only doing the first 6, and it starts in Malaga, Spain. If you do the whole thing, it ends in Rome. If you do the partial cruise, it ends in Barcelona. After Barcelona, it goes on to France, Monaco, and then a couple stops in Italy before arriving in Rome. And I've got an unbelievable opportunity on this cruise. If you have any interest in this and you have any like time last minute, I've got a special on this that is not to be believed. So let me know if you might be interested in that. I am flying over on the 29th. I'm going to spend 1 day in Madrid. I'm going to take the train down to Malaga, get on the ship there. And then the stops for me are Melilla, Spain, which is actually across on the North Africa. And then Formentera, Ibiza, Mallorca, and then to Barcelona. So I'm really excited about that and can't wait to report back to you on a small ship, because this is like 200 people and it's definitely a luxury sailing. So a completely different feel from the Caribbean one I just did. And after that, I'll be going back to Colombia again. I can't wait. I loved Colombia so much when I was there last year. So I'm going back in May with one of my favorite suppliers and doing a fam trip. Really excited about learning more about the country with them. And he actually did a podcast with me recording, and really looking forward to sharing that one with you. Very, very good stuff in Colombia for the right for people that are interested in that part of the world, which I think there's lots to be interested in. Then I'm going back again in August with friends for a personal actual vacation trip. So lots of Colombia in my life. I've got safari trips. Yes, January 2023. We've got all kinds of options. We have got a sea safari. We have got horseback safari, non-riders welcome too. So if you have, like, if you want to ride and you have a spouse or family members, kid friendly, all that, if, you know, to a certain degree, I mean, they have to be able to ride to a certain degree and have to be old enough if they're not riding, you know, to have a little patience. So that will be in Kenya, Masai Mara, January 2023. The dates for the horseback and horseback, non-horseback safari are the 15th through the 21st. The before and after options are, like I said, sea safari, northern Kenya, northern frontier, Laikipia area, walking safari, camel supported walking safari. We've got gorilla trekking in Rwanda as well that we're going to either put on the front or the back end of the trip. It sort of depends on how it all plays out. And then I feel like I've missed something. I don't think so. I think that's everything. So, but lots of action in Kenya and Rwanda in January. So please let me know if you're interested in that. We do have to have critical mass to make it work, but it'll be a great trip, and with the flexibility of being able to add whatever components you do or don't want, I think makes it especially appealing. I also have on my newsletter, as far as the trips that I am doing in the future, Poland. Obviously, right now, that's a little bit of a question mark, a little up in the air with what's going on over there. We are still planning it for 2023, spring, May, hopefully, of 2023. But we're just kind of watching the situation, see what happens. We're not going to take any deposits or do anything on that front until we see how things clear up in that part of the world. And golly, prayers to all of them. Poland and Romania, both places I went last fall, are really taking a lot of refugees in and doing their part to support the people of Ukraine. And that makes me even more glad to know some people in those countries. So, all right, state of travel, we're moving right along. Yeah, airfare prices are crazy high. Availability is low. You know, obviously fuel prices affect that. Not all the flights have come back online yet. So if you are planning on flying someplace or taking a trip, I suggest the first thing to do is actually look at the airfare, because far too many times what's happening is people want to dive into, I want to go here, I want to do it this time, I want to do this trip. They get all the planning done and then look at the airfare, and it kills the deal. So look at the airfare first, make sure that that works into your budget, and adjust your budget accordingly, because it is a factor, unfortunately. The other thing I'm seeing there is that seats in like comfort, like what would be Delta comfort class, are pricing sometimes almost as high as first class. I mean, it's like, wow. You know, the demand is just that high. So going to Spain, I'm going to be riding in the back, but I'm doing it on miles. So I'll live, I'll survive. Protocols, rules constantly changing in every country. I mean, it's just, I just booked a trip for somebody that's going to Poland to actually help. We just did some hotels and airfare. It's not really a vacation. I did it more of a like goodwill thing, because they're going to help other people. And they you know, we had the same thing with the seat. I mean, there weren't that many seats available, surprisingly. And so really look. And then the protocols to get into Poland have changed. I mean, it's 180 from when I was there last fall. A lot of countries are dropping testing requirements. If you're fully vaccinated, some are dropping it altogether. So it's going to be really interesting to see where things go, you know, but we have to really, if you are going to a foreign country, you really need to stay up to date on what's happening each week almost, leading up to it. Almost all countries that I have dealt with do require some sort of a health information form that you do ahead of time. They're generally very easy to do online. And, then once you've got it done, you have a QR code when you go through immigration, you show them that, and boom, you're done. It's pretty simple. If you're thinking of traveling over Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, golly, get on it now. I mean, availability is so tight. It's crazy, and prices are really high. So that's my 2 cents on that. So yeah, took a lot longer than it probably would have for you just to read a newsletter, but I enjoy doing this. Hope that you've enjoyed listening. If you've got any questions, give me a call, send me an email, send me a text, whatever, DM, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you know the drill. All right. Everybody have a good week.